Hey guys, we're going to take a look today at how to describe functions. Last week we decided if something was a function or not a function, and then today we're going to take it a step further. So there are 4 ways we can describe functions. Okay, so let's draw some graphs. And let's see here. The first graph, let's make it look like this. So, first of all, something can be linear or nonlinear, and bottom line, if it looks like a line, it is linear. So this is a linear function. And when we talked about slope, we talked about it could be increasing or decreasing. Well, if this line goes up, see, imagine there's a little man on it. He's walking up the mountain or up the graph. That means this is increasing. So this graph or this function is linear and increasing. Now let's take a look at the next type of function. So draw your x and y axis, and here's your line. Now this is still linear. This is still a perfectly straight line. Linear and if you'll remember when we talked about slope, this is a negative or it goes down, or a simple way, if you draw a man on the first edge of it and it looks like it's going down, it is decreasing. So this function is, excuse me, linear and decreasing. Let's take a look at the next kind. Sometimes it will be, look at this. If there's any curve in it or anything that's not perfectly straight, that is non-linear. But again, it looks like it's going up. Think about it. Draw your little man on there, or imagine your man if he's climbing up. So this is non-linear and increasing. And now let's take a look at our fourth kind. And you may have already thought about it. Let's do purple. Look at that. There's a curve in it, so it's non-linear. And if we draw our man on there, and you don't have to draw your man every time, I'm just giving you a way to decide. And it looks like if he walks, he's going down. So this is nonlinear and decreasing. So as we do our work today, these are the 4 ways you're going to describe graphs: linear and increasing, linear and decreasing, nonlinear, if it has a curve, and increasing and going up, nonlinear and decreasing. So let's take a look at some of the types of work you're going to use. And today you're going to use your calculator to help you. So sometimes you'll have an equation, and I'll ask you to describe that. So what you do, so we have y equals 2/5 x. You'll go to Desmos and you'll type that in. Y equals 2, and 2/5 is 2 divided by 5. And remember to use your arrow key to get out of that, and then type your x. So take a look at the graph. It looks like it's a straight line and it's going up. So this equation is linear and increasing. So let's try a couple more equations. So let's say we have y equals 1/4 times 3 raised to the x power. So you go to Desmos. So you type it in exactly as you see it. So it becomes y equals 1 divided by 4. Remember, use your right arrow key to get out of that. Times, so put in your parenthesis, 3, closing parenthesis. And the way you raise it to the x power is you hit this A to the B key. See how it raises it up, sorry. So now let's take a look at the graph. It looks like it's non-linear and increasing. So non-linear and increasing. So let's try one more equation. So let's say we have y equals negative 1/3 x. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Y equals negative x. So you go to Desmos. Let's start fresh. Y equals negative x. Is that a perfectly straight line? Yes, it is. And it looks like it's going down. So this is linear because it's a straight line, and decreasing because it's going down. Let's do one more equation. So let's take a look at y equals 2 times 0.25 in parentheses raised to the x power. So again, I go to Desmos, start fresh, y equals 2, and then in parentheses we had 0.25, oops, make sure we get that right, 0.25, close your parentheses, raised to, remember that's the A to the B key, and then you type your x. So it looks like that has a curve in it, so that's non-linear, and it's going down. So that's non-linear, and going down means it's decreasing. So that's what you do if you have equations. Now let's take a look at a different type of relationship. What if you had a table? So first let's draw our table. Okay, so I've got negative 2, 0.111, negative 1, 0.333, 0, 1, 1, 3, and 2, 9. So there's a way that you could put the table into Desmos. So clear it out. You're going to hit this plus key. And when you hit the plus key in the upper left-hand corner, you can choose to input a table. So that's what we're going to do. So the first one was negative 2, 0.111, and then you just hit enter and go to the next one. The next one was negative 1, 0.333, hit enter, and it'll add a new line for you. The next one is 0, 1, enter, 1, 3, and you might have to use your mouse to help you get around, and then 2, 9. Now let's take a look at those dots. If I were to connect those dots, are they a perfectly straight line, or do they have a curve? Well, it looks like they have a curve, so this is non-linear, and it's going up, so it's increasing. So this table is non-linear and increasing. Let's do a couple more tables so you get that practice in so you can be successful with your practice. Okay, so here's the next table. X, Y. So we have negative 2, 7 is the first point. Negative 1, 2. 0, negative 1, and 1, negative 2. Remember, you're always going to use Desmos to help you with this. So get rid of the old table, add a table, and now let's put our information in. So I've got negative 2 and 7, enter. Negative 1, remember you have to use your mouse to get around. Next is 0, negative 1, and 1, negative 2. So I'm going to take a look at those dots. So first of all, they do not look like a perfectly straight line. So that's going to be non-linear. And then if I were to connect all of those, it looks like it's going down. So this table is a non-linear and decreasing function. So that's how I would describe this table or this function. And now let's take a look at one final table. Sometimes they'll give you your tables like this, sideways. Well, guys, it's the same thing. They're the same thing, they're just flipped sideways. So my first point is -3, -7. My next point is -2, -5, -1, -3, 0, -1, and 1, 1. Here's what I want you to be really careful with when you put this into Desmos. Make sure your X's go in the X column and that your Y's go in the Y column. Okay? So let's go back. The first point is -3, -7. So let's create our table. Add table. The first point is -3, -7. See, even though I give it to you up and down or side to side, I want you to type it in this way. The next point is -2, -5. So -2, -5, enter. And I'm going to keep going back on this one because I want to make sure you get it right. The next point is -1, -3, -1, -3, 0, -1 is my next point. 0, -1. And then our last point is 1, 1. 1, 1. So now let's take a look at our graph. That is a perfectly straight line, so that's linear, and it's going up, so it's increasing. So this function is linear and increasing. So again, today we talked about the way that we can describe our functions. Make sure you use your Desmos calculator to help you decide if it's linear or nonlinear, and then increasing or decreasing. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.